Hello and a very warm welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you 12 simple steps to improve your credit score. That is 12 simple steps to help you improve your credit score. Now, having a good credit score is extremely important. It can help you qualify for the best interest rates and terms when you borrow money, to influencing how much you pay for your life insurance. But that's not all. Landlords will consider your credit score when you apply to rent. And even telecom companies might look at your credit score before you lease your next smartphone. So having a good credit score is extremely important. Now, how can you improve your credit score? The first step to improve your credit score is never ever miss a payment. Your payment history factors into a whopping 35% of your credit score. So you'll definitely see the effects if you tend to miss payment of bills. If you didn't set email reminders when you signed up for your credit card, change your settings now or mark due dates on your phone or your calendar. And if you still have a hard time remembering, consider setting auto payments, okay? That means that the money goes directly from your bank account at specific times of the month, that is every single month. Even if you just set up credit cards to automatically have the minimum payment each month, that is enough to increase your credit score. Just don't get tricked into thinking it's out of sight, out of mind. Keep checking your bills for errors and don't forget to update your accounts if you switch banks. So the first step is never miss any payment. Now, step number 2. Find your weak spots. What are your weak points? Instead of taking your credit score at face value, use the full report to guide you in boosting that number. A lot of people focus a lot of their efforts on trying to boost their score and chase a number. Don't just get the score. It will tell you something, but not everything. With a full copy of your report, look for any missed payments or other aspects driving your score down. Then use that information to figure out the clear steps you need to make to get where you want to be. Now, step number 3. To improve your credit score, you need to check for errors. Once you get your hands on your credit report, it's free if you ask for yours. Comb through it to make sure that everything is accurate. Any mistakes could be affecting your credit score negatively. The worst time to find out is when you're sitting down applying for a mortgage or trying to get a car loan, because at that point it's potentially too late to do anything to correct it in time to get what you need. It's important to remain proactive. Also, keep an eye out for identity theft. Step number 4 to improve your credit score is ask for a report from all 3 bureaus. Don't just settle on getting a single report. You can ask for a credit report for completely free from 3 credit bureaus. The first one is Equifax. Equifax, that is EQIFAX. EQUIFAX. The second bureau from which you could ask for your credit report is TransUnion. TransUnion. That is TransUnion. That is TransUnion. And the third credit bureau from which you can ask for a credit report is Experian. That is Experian. So don't just settle on getting a single report. The three credit bureaus that I've just mentioned will calculate your scores separately, and they don't share information with each other. So just because one report is error-free does not mean you won't find a mistake on another. If you don't need to make a dispute, your best bet is to report it to your credit agency rather than calling individual bureaus. So please don't just settle on getting a single credit report from one particular bureau. Instead, use the three credit bureaus that I've given you, that is Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, to calculate your score separately. Because let's face it, they don't share information with each other. And the advantage of that approach is that when you find errors, then you can report all three credit bureaus if they sent it, all the three of them sent you credit reports that have errors in them. Okay? Now, the fifth step to making or to improving your credit score is to figure out a plan to get back on track. You need to figure out a plan to get back on track. As soon as you get a payment or two behind your bills, make a plan to get back up to date as quickly as possible. Talk to a financial expert from a non-profit credit account agency, or figure out your own strategy, starting with a call to your creditor. You'd be surprised at how flexible a creditor may be in providing programs to make sure you get back up to date if you're just behind a few payments. Okay? So please figure out a plan to get back on track. The sixth step on how to improve your credit score is to stay well below your credit limit. I can't emphasize that enough. Stay well below your credit limit. The closer you come to hitting your limit each month, the bigger of a risk you seem to creditors, which is why your credit score could take a hit when you spend a bigger percentage of what's available. Now, experts disagree on exactly how far you should stay below your limit, but stick to under 20 to 25% of your credit line. Keep in mind that the balance is calculated when your bill comes out, not after you make your payment. Okay? Keep in mind that the balance is calculated when your bill comes out and not after you make your payment. Even if you're paying in full each month, the credit score shows your balance. Now, paper money will keep you under the limit, okay? You're better off paying with cash than paying with a credit card, for example. Step number 7, ask for a credit line increase. Ask for a credit line increase. If you're constantly closer to your limit than you'd like to be, even though you can afford the higher spending, pick up the phone and ask your credit to increase your credit line. Check your credit report for problem areas before you call, so you have a good credit report for problem areas before you call, so that you have a good idea of how they'll respond. Okay, so check your credit report for problem areas before you call, so that you have a good idea of how they will respond. Then be realistic about what you'd like to increase your credit line to, keeping in mind the worst case scenario if you did not overborrow. Okay, keeping in mind the worst case scenario if you did overborrow. Now, the first thing that I would caution people is to consider is that they should have a really good reason for doing it. Make sure you're not taking on a credit limit you may not be able to manage if for some reason you did run the balance all the way up. Step number 8, keep your cards open. Now, are you tempted to close unused cards? Maybe you have some credit cards that are unused and you want to close them. Not so fast. Your credit score doesn't only take into account the percentage of available credit you use on each card, it also looks at your total credit line. Even if you use a card rarely, it's still included in the total credit line available to you. So if you're comfortably at or below 30% on all and all of a sudden you close your cards and bring the overall limit down closer to that balance, you're increasing your credit utilization percentage as it relates to overall credit limit. And that's a bad thing. If you don't if you do need to get rid of a few cards, close just one at a time and then wait 6 months or so before closing another. But unless your card has an annual fee or you keep forgetting you used it for small charges, there is no compelling reason to close it, okay? And don't miss on your payment, obviously. Now, step number 7. If you want to improve your credit score, become an authorized user. Now, family members or trusted friends can help you jumpstart your credit history by naming you as an authorized user to one of their credit cards. If you are someone responsible who pays their bills on time, their good financial activity will boost your own credit card too. You don't even need a physical copy of the card. You'll still get the credit score advantages even if you never use it yourself. But you should still take steps to prove to your loved one that you will be dependable. If you haven't been responsible, they are going out on a limb to help you. You have to be trustworthy because if you charge anything on it, they would be responsible. Okay? So you can improve your credit score by becoming an authorized user. Okay? Now, the next step is don't apply for a lot of credit at once. Okay? This is step number 10. Don't apply for a lot of credit at once. Now, while requesting your own credit report won't affect anything, your score could take a small hit if a third party checks your history when considering you for credit approval. If you apply at 6, 7, or 8 places, okay, the combined impact of those credit inquiries could have a noticeable effect in the short term. So to avoid a hard blow, don't apply to too many places at a time. And step number 11 to help you improve your credit score is get a credit builder loan. Get a credit builder loan. You should never take on debt just to improve your credit, but a credit builder loan is a good option for someone looking to, say, start a mortgage in a few years. Like a cross between a savings account and a loan, you set a loan amount in a certificate of deposit, and then you make payments each month until you pay it off, and your credit score will go up as you prove yourself reliable. And when you pay it off, you have the money in the CD. Okay? You have the money there. It's a savings account plus a credit reference. Okay? So improve your credit score by getting a credit builder loan. That is going to help you for sure. Now, the final step on how to improve your credit score is think about your credit score in terms of do you have any credit score at all? Have you done anything? Ask yourself, have you done anything to improve your credit score at all, or do you have what we call a thin credit score? Now, if you have a thin credit score, because, for example, you don't have any credit cards or you don't have any money that goes out at the end of the month, or any other ways of proving that you can be lent money. Okay, if you simply don't have a credit score because you have little experience or history with credit, then you're likely to have what we call a thin credit file. That means you have few, if any, credit accounts listed on your credit reports. Typically 1 to 4. Now, generally, a thin file means a bank or a lender is unable to calculate a credit score because there's not enough information in a user's credit history to do so. So, if you want to improve your credit score, then you're going to have to fatten up your credit file, okay, because it is very thin. Okay, now you can do that by applying for a secured credit card or becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card. Okay, so if you have a thin credit score, a thin credit file, because you have little experience or history with credit, then you can fatten up your thin credit file by applying for a secured credit card or becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card, like I mentioned earlier on. So those are the 12 things that you can do to improve your credit score. Okay, now the first things, just to give you a recap of the things that we have talked about, the first step that we talked about is the fact that to improve your credit score, you must never miss a payment. Okay, step number 2, find your weak spots. Step number 3, check for errors. Step number 4, ask for a report from all the 3 bureaus. Step number 5, figure out a plan to get back on track. Step number 6, stay well below your credit limit. Step number 7, ask for a credit line increase. Step number 8, keep your credit cards open. Step number 9, become an authorized user. Step number 10, don't apply for a lot of credit at the same time. Step number 11, get a credit builder loan. And the last step that we talked about on how to improve your credit score is to ensure that you fatten up your thin credit file by securing a credit card, applying for a secured credit card, becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card. That will also help you, or taking out a credit builder loan. Now, there you go. Those are the 12 simple steps to improve your credit score. And as we said, improving your credit score is extremely important. So please put into effect those 12 simple steps that we have talked about, and in no time, your credit score is going to improve and you will be able to apply for that loan that you have been wanting to apply, get that mortgage that you have been wanting to get, maybe even that telecom company that has been turning you down is going to accept your request, and I wish you all the best. Okay, now thank you very much for your time. If you found this video helpful at all, then kindly give the video a thumbs up and share the video with anybody else that might benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have a look at the other videos that I have on my channel, because remember, if it has to do anything with money, I upload it in this channel, because my goal is to help you to improve in all areas in regards to your financial status, but also to help you to, in due time, grow your wealth. Now, thank you very much, and I shall see you in our next video. Bye bye, and take good care of yourself.